had the same full-time job at our local hospital, and little by little my hours were cut back, and almost to about half of what my income was. So that's really what happened. I had called the local branch who had my mortgage, and I talked with them about how tight things had become, and they tried to work something out with me for the first couple of months. I was told they would take a partial payment from the 1-800 number for the bank. When I went into the local branch, that was not the case. The problem with the 1-800 number is you never know who you're talking to from one time to the next. I just got behind, more and more behind. And then the next thing I know, it's 3 months and they still, it was aggravating because I couldn't make partial payments, at least try to stay up with something, but it just snowballed, and that's the only way I can explain it. Oh, notices, two a week at least, and it would, they were form letters that would say, call us and see what we can do to help you. I got in the habit of just making a call every week to find out if they had even received it, and I couldn't even get a straight answer if they had received the paperwork. I couldn't speak with the same person every time. So I'd have to re-explain the whole situation every time. So it was really aggravating and frustrating because then I'm getting even more and more behind. Finally, I was told after, I'd say, 3 months of waiting and making phone calls to find out what they could do for me, I was told, well, you can do a short sale.
The term short sale means a sale of a home in which the net proceeds paid to the seller are less or insufficient compared to the amount that's owed to the lender. Therefore, the lender, in order for that sale to go through, must approve and accept a payoff on the loan that is less than what's owed or short from what's owed. That's a short sale.
The reason I felt that a short sale was more beneficial to me in my situation than just letting the bank take the house back and just have a straight foreclosure, I felt that I wanted to make good on my loan. I wanted to fulfill the obligation that I had signed up for. It would have shown that I had paid my obligation and my debt. And I felt that was important to do. It was also integrity. There was the integrity involved in it, of following through and doing what I felt was the right thing to do. If a home goes through a short sale, you can walk out of there, walk away from the home feeling like your obligation has been fulfilled.
When a homeowner took out their initial loan to purchase their home, they fully intended to pay that loan off. And they took that loan out honorably and with complete intent to honor that commitment. Stuff happens in life, as we know. People lose their jobs, their hours are cut, interest rates change, medical expenses come up. For various reasons, people aren't able to honor that obligation. And for some people, there's a very psychological aspect to having on their credit report, when you've gone through a short sale, it says paid as agreed, as opposed to in a foreclosure where it will say that you have defaulted. And many people feel very strongly about having honored that commitment that they made at the beginning, and this is one way that when you get that credit report, it will reflect that you did everything to the best of your ability to honor that. Okay. There's a great difference on a credit report when you have a short sale and it says paid as agreed versus in a foreclosure when it says default. In a foreclosure, on your credit score, you can see your credit score drop anywhere from like 250 to 300 points. On a short sale, it will not show up on your credit report. The only thing that may show up are your missed payments on your mortgage, but the short sale itself will not.
1 out of 10 homeowners in the United States are in some stage of either default or foreclosure on their homes. It's also a fact that 7 out of 10 homeowners in this country who lose their homes through the foreclosure process never attempted to sell the home. They just gave up.
A short sale enables a homeowner to get back on their feet and moving forward again much more quickly, with a great weight lifted from your shoulder.
If you've got an imminent foreclosure date, that's not the end of the world. We can oftentimes get that foreclosure postponed and delayed while we run through the short sale process with the lender. So don't let that be an inhibiting factor to starting the process.
When I first met the short sale team, I was relieved, because it seemed that they had the knowledge to help me with this process.
Okay, so the basic process of a short sale is the homeowner puts the home on the market, preferably through a realtor with the expertise to guide them through the process. The property gets listed and priced competitively, because without a contract, unfortunately, you can't apply for a short sale. So you need to have a contract. So you put it on the market, you list it, and then when you do get a contract on the home, that contract has to be conditional upon the lender's approval of the price, which results in the short sale. The realtor then puts together the package, which includes obviously the purchase contract, the original listing contract, the realtor's explanation of why that price is a valid price, even though it results in a short payoff. So the lender understands that we're not just trying to cut their profits. And then all the financial information on the homeowner that convinces the lender that there really is a distress and hardship situation, that it's not just the payments are uncomfortable, it's truly a situation where the payments cannot be made, and therefore there is a hardship situation that justifies the short sale. That package all goes into the lender for approval of the short sale. That package can be anywhere from 60 pages to 120 pages. And it's absolutely imperative that that package is put together properly, so the lender can respond to it in an appropriate amount of time.
And they also took into consideration how emotional that it was. And I could tell, were willing to do whatever they could to help me. They could understand the frustration, and they could understand the kind of the feeling of despair of, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose my home, what do I do?
When you're involved with a short sale, you're involved with people who are losing everything, and one of the major assets in their life is their home, and they're losing it, and it's a huge loss. It's like a death. I mean, it's very, very emotional. They need somebody that understands, who can talk to them, who's non-judgmental. They feel like they're being judged. They really need somebody that understands. And through the CDPE training, that's one of the things that we've learned is how to counsel and talk to people and understand and not be judgmental, and let them know that we really care.
It's a huge undertaking. I mean, I could not have taken care of the short sale on my own. There is no way. The time and the energy involved in doing this would have been, I couldn't have done it and worked full time at the same. I wouldn't have had the time to do it.
There's no doubt that the mortgage companies are just overwhelmed right now with what's going on in the United States. There are so many people that are struggling on their payments and falling behind and getting into default and foreclosure processes. Some of the loss mitigation negotiators that we've spoken with are literally sitting in their offices with a stack of applications, these 60 to 120 page applications on their desk that number upwards from 150 to 300 at one time. And so you can see how critical it is that these applications are done properly so that they can be processed as quickly as possible.
The documentation required is very lengthy. Again, we know how to package it, we know what to ask for, and one of the things that's required is a HUD settlement statement. We know how to have that prepared by a title company, what needs to go on it, what the lender needs to see. These are things that a homeowner would, on their own, would never have a clue what needs to be included in that package. And it's so critical that those packages be prepared correctly the first time. I mean, as they're going through these stacks, they're looking at the ones that are prepared properly. And if they're not, they're just going to throw them out and go to the next one. So you need to be very certain that you've submitted a complete package the first time.
Your short sale agent is your advocate. We are here to help you through this process. It's a very lengthy process. It's a very stressful process.
You guys definitely found out who to talk to, and you had a contact person, and I couldn't have gotten that. I couldn't get that. It was like there was a wall. As you know, for me to make these phone calls, I couldn't find out who to talk to. I couldn't have done it on my own. There's no way.
We know how to provide the lender with statistics that show why they should accept this offer, what's going on in the market.
When a lender forecloses on a property, it's very expensive for them to do that. There's all these costs involved with the foreclosure. There's legal fees, there's holding costs, maintenance, repairs. Oftentimes they get the property back in not very good condition. And then there's costs of maintaining the property during the selling process. There's costs of the sale, realtor's fees, etc. It all amounts to a lot of money. And so they realize historically they take a loss anyway. They've come to realize they take a loss anyway. So if they're going to take a loss anyway, and they still can only sell it for what the market will bear, why not sell it for what the market will bear now and avoid all that maintenance, repairs, all that time, and get it done with? And they've come to start to realize that nationwide, and it makes sense.
At first I was like, okay, what do they want out of this? What are they going to get out of this? Where's the money going to come from? Where's their part in it? And I soon realized that it wasn't about what they were going to make, if anything, from helping me with the short sale.
This is a service business, and anybody that's in this for the long run, it's not just all about making a dollar. It's a service business, and so there's the warm fuzzy element of trying to help people, and people that are in financial distress on their homes, they need help, and they don't know where to turn, and that's a big problem. There's not a lot of education out there that there may be an avenue that can help them out in some way, shape, or form. And so, you know, to be able to render that service to those people is pretty powerful.
It was kind of sad because my grandma that passed away, she and my mom got all these plants, and we had to leave the house, and all the plants were left at the house. So.
That was kind of sad.
These are real people, and real people with real problems, and there's nothing to judge in their situations. They're going through a terrible, terrible experience, losing their home. Depression, anxiety, even illness in some cases are a result of what they're going through. We have to have a lot of understanding of their situation and compassion. It's just a tough thing to go through. In addition to that, what is happening to them has effects on their neighborhood, the surrounding homes, properties around them, the community, the county, the state, and the country. These foreclosures are affecting all of us. They have a negative effect on the real estate market that affects everybody. So that's something that we need to be very well aware of.
That's the other benefit of having a professional help me or help you with a short sale, is because I was getting too emotionally involved after making phone call after phone call after phone call and not getting anywhere. I was kind of to the point where I couldn't be even remotely cordial on the telephone because I was just continually getting the runaround.
For a homeowner to go through this on their own would be just about impossible.
I would say there's no reason in the world not to use a certified distressed property expert through the short sale process.
If you see the benefits and you think this might work for you, I think it makes all the sense in the world to make the call today. Let us do our counseling. Let us get started on the process, because timing is really important.